Hi, welcome to Salesforce Live at Dreamforce. I'm Naomi Moranzoni. I'm the Senior Director of Philanthropy at salesforce.org, and I'm here to talk to you about Pledge 1% today. Pledge 1% is a global movement of companies around the world, more than 1,000 to date, who have decided to make the community a stakeholder in their core business. I'm joined today on this segment with three phenomenal Pledge 1% companies. I've got Amy Skeeters-Barron, Executive Director of DocuSign Impact. I'm here with Alyssa Smirka, who is the director at Okta, and Bill Cummings from Glassy Baby. So just want to talk about this movement that is taking hold. The landscape is really changing in how companies are engaging with their communities, the way your stakeholders are expecting you to engage, and it's really transformed how that is. If we think about the power of when we can give our product, our time, our equity to communities, it can really have transformational impact. And I think about with the tech unicorns out there right now, folks talk about 1% and that doesn't seem like a lot. But if we took all of the tech unicorns out there and they all did 1%, that would be $6 billion created for social impact. So Amy, you guys are a tech unicorn. You guys are a tremendous, fast-growing company, and you have set aside equity. Tell me about why you decided to do that.
So first of all, Naomi, it is wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting DocuSign to participate. So DocuSign Impact is our commitment of 1% of equity, 1% of time, and 1% of product to accelerating the digital transformation of nonprofits. And one thing that was really important to us when we made this commitment of 1% equity almost 2 years ago was that we did it early. And we did it early and really leveraged our future success because we all believed in the business and knew that that equity would continue to grow. And so we wanted to do it early. A lot of people have spoken to me and said, oh, you all were just really lucky. You had the right CEO, the right board of directors, the right founder. And in a certain way, they're right. We are really lucky. However, I might also add that when you really break that down, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, not to be too cliche about it. And so the preparation that our founder, Tom Gonzer, did over many years, that our CEO, Keith Kroc, did in laying the foundation and building this amazing company, that then met with the opportunity, which I think is twofold, of the Pledge 1% movement and plug-and-play way to make a commitment, plus the right board, the right CEO. So we were lucky in that it all came together in that way.
That's great. Now, Bill, to you, I want to talk a little bit about, the Pledge 1% movement. Folks think that, well, it's 1%, I need to do product, equity, profit, and time, and I have to do all four. And I think what they don't understand is how flexible this movement is. Really, it's about stating a philanthropic intent and really trying to think about how your company can give back. Now, Glassy Baby takes a slightly different approach. You guys do 10% of sales of your product, and you give that back, which is phenomenal. Tell me a little about the decision that you made in setting that aside.
Well, the company was started by my sister, who is a 3-time cancer survivor. And so as she was going through various rounds of treatment, she met a lot of people who were really struggling with things like daycare and food and parking, and a lot of those costs that don't get reimbursed through insurance. And so she started Glassy Baby in part as a way to give back to address those needs in the market. 15 years later, we support a wide range of partners that address hope and healing for people, animals, and the planet. And we've really found that model of working closely with those organizations is a great way for us not only to get close to the people who we want to touch through them ultimately, but it's also a great way for us to get scale and for us to bring our community together with theirs and really drive our business. And it's been a great way for us to accelerate our growth.
Absolutely. So talking about community, Okta, you guys have also set aside equity, and you've chosen a really important community that's dear to you. Tell me about what you're doing with your equity and who you're supporting.
Sure, Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for allowing us to be here. So at Okta, we participate in the SF Gives Corporate Challenge, and that is a corporate challenge where 20 different leading technology companies in the Bay Area are coming together to commit to raise $10 million to support the tipping point community. And all of the money that goes into that community will go back to the local community here in San Francisco Bay Area to provide jobs, education, and housing to help to help really address poverty. So as we started this over 2.5 years ago, we were part of this program. We wanted to look locally. We started here, our headquarters are here in San Francisco, so it was important for us to give back to the folks that live in our area that need that. And as we grow globally, we'll also be looking at things that we can do in other regions. But we're really excited about starting first where we are here.
I think that's a really important first step. A lot of times we talk to companies and they say, well, we don't know where to get started. And we say, always go into your local community, look to your neighbors. There's need in every community, and being able to service those communities, you can really have that very quick impact. I also want to talk about, this idea of product. A lot of companies, especially if you're a tech startup, you may not have, money, or, you set aside that equity, but you want to have impact right away. And a lot of folks don't realize the transformational impact that product can have on nonprofits. When you put in the hands, nonprofits, a sector that has been traditionally left behind, either by technology and that innovation, because they've been priced out of that market, and you give them for free or discounted or donated that product, you can really see that transformation. And so, both DocuSign and Okta, you guys are part of a really interesting, great program, which is the Impact Cloud, which is helping to serve a really specific community. Can you tell me a little bit, Amy, about that program?
Absolutely. So Impact Cloud is a coalition of 7 cloud software providers: Salesforce, Okta, Twilio, Box, DocuSign, Splunk, Tableau are the founding coalition members. And we partnered with NetHope and Team Rubicon to help come together and address how disaster response organizations not take advantage of, but execute better in times of disaster. So, and what we believe is that by coming together and creating integrated solutions across different companies, we will help these nonprofits respond better. And so if you can imagine, let's say, I'm from Oklahoma, and several years ago, a tornado hit Moore, Oklahoma, very close to where I grew up. And Team Rubicon, for example, was one of the first on the ground. And in order to do that, think through what they need. They need to know, okay, of their 40,000 volunteers that they can deploy, who do they have close by that can get there fastest? So that's Salesforce, CRM at its finest. Secondly, they need to message those folks and let them know what's happening and how they can get involved. So there's the Twilio piece. Thirdly, they need all of the deployment instructions, what's going on the ground in a Box folder. And then finally, with those waivers and the compliance, actually not finally, but with the waivers and compliance, then the integration of DocuSign into Box and Salesforce just allows them to get things signed so that they're compliant, volunteers are safe, and everyone has checked those boxes. And then finally, you have the Okta piece where, then the volunteer leader on the ground, the staff members back in the home office have the right permissions to the right types of information, so everyone is safe and compliant. And then, of course, Splunk and Tableau for the visualization and the data insights that feed back into it. And I don't know if, Alyssa, you want to say anything about Okta's role?
No, that was perfect. I think it's the exact point of the last thing the volunteer wants to think about during a time of crisis is how am I going to get the right access and how do we get people to the right information. So having the opportunity for Okta to work alongside such partners as these is really incredible. We're very excited to be a part of Impact Cloud and see what future opportunities we can help support. In addition to Impact Cloud, we also just recently put together, as part of our Okta for Good program, 25 free licenses for any nonprofit. We are fortunate we have over 150 nonprofit customers, including Rotary International, Planned Parenthood, Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we started to realize that it's not just the large ones, of course, that need help and need access to certain resources. So one way that we saw is really impactful that we can give back to the community is to offer that free product for organizations. So anybody, no matter how big they are, they can get those 25 first for free. So again, it's just kind of thinking about the different ways as our companies can all give back to the community, and that's one way that we saw it was possible to do so.
That's great. I also, so with Glassy Baby, here at Dreamforce, we have we do a lot of fundraising. Giving back is a big part of what we do. And we've raised $10 million for the UCS Benioff Children's Hospital, which is phenomenal. Just really amazing effort. But I know that Glassy Baby also, through your product, are giving back to the children's hospitals. Tell me a little bit about why you chose that and what you're doing there.
Well, we do give back to those hospitals. We haven't quite reached that level yet, but we're trying. When we first came here a couple years ago, we started working with the Benioff hospitals, and they were very receptive to the partner programs that we have. And the kind of things we've done are road shows where we go out and we sell our product at their facilities or at their benefactors' houses. We do in-store events where they come into our stores. We light fundraisers and various events they have with lots of our candles here, our votives. And then we also have what we call a single giving color, which is our tightest form of a partnership. And so we have two with Benioff. This one is called Crayola, and this one benefits the Oakland Children's Hospital. This one's called Kindness, and it benefits the Mission Bay Hospital. And so 10% of the sale of every one of those goes back directly to those hospitals. In the case of Oakland, it funds social services like travel vouchers, counseling, and in the case of Mission Bay, it funds child services like play therapy, pet therapy, and art therapy.
That's wonderful. That's really phenomenal. So another question that we often get is this idea of, I don't have time right now. I'm a startup or I'm a fast growth company, and honestly, I'm just trying to keep the lights on, and I'm trying to, make sure all of my employees have what they need. I just don't have time to be giving back, to be organizing this. That often is a challenge. Okta, you guys have taken a great approach to, a fast growth company, to doing this. How are you addressing the 1% time?
Sure. So with the time angle, what we're doing is we're actually using our resources, including our workforce. So what we've found is that we can really mobilize our workforce. There's so many different people at all of our different offices who just want to be involved. We were already doing a lot of this with different one-off things across different teams, doing nonprofit days and charity days. And what we saw as we started to put together Okta for Good is there's enough people here who want to make an impact and who want to make this right and do something big. Let's get all of them together in a room. And so we've had a lot of success by forming this committee of cross-functional people and leaders across the company. And then we have subcommittees to focus on the operations piece, the product piece, and the time piece. And so then we can all kind of say, okay, it's not going to take one person all these hours to find all these programs, but we can all find one and we can all give back that time. So we've really kind of taken that approach to doing it.
Naomi, this reminds me, I was recently reading a study from Cone Communications, and some of the statistics just bear this out, that 70+% of employees want to have opportunities to give back through their work. And for millennials, it's something like 88%. So the numbers are really striking. And I would just echo Alyssa's points insofar as that has also been our experience at DocuSign, just putting out the call globally. When I joined the company a couple of years ago, we started an impact team structure. And now that impact team structure has grown to 15 different impact teams in our offices, and then even at-large folks that have raised their hand to get their remote colleagues together to go out and volunteer in the community. And what we have found too is that it's largely discretionary effort. People will go above and beyond. They will still get all of that. They'll still keep the lights on, and they will be so much more engaged and have so much more of a rich experience with us because of the impact program.
It's so true. We hear this all the time, from our employees. It's in the top 3 reasons that they come to Salesforce. It's in the top 3 reasons they stay. And, I was just talking to folks who runs our pro bono program to help those nonprofits work use the technology. She said that the people who do that program, who do pro bono, 95% say they're happier at Salesforce because of that pro bono engagement. So the opportunity there to really drive that engagement, drive satisfaction with your employee base is truly phenomenal. So, as we're sort of wrapping up here, I want to talk a little bit about, Pledge 1% and sort of what inspired you to join. Glassy Baby, you're sort of our most recent signatory to the program, but you've been doing this for a really long time. Why Pledge 1% and why now?
Well, as to why now, because we were asked, and we're very pleased to have been asked. We do it because we believe in it. I mean, we've been giving back since day one. It's in our DNA. We feel it's a great way to help those in need, but it's also a really great way to build our business. And whether it's a way to sell our products so we can give back, or it's a way to get more embedded in the communities that we serve, or it's a way for our employees to work with those partners and really see what the end result is of their labor. It's a a big part of why we do what we do, and we're very honored and pleased to be part of the team.
Well, we are thrilled to have you. So, I just want to thank all of you guys for joining us here today on Pledge 1%. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for everything that you're doing for your communities. And, we look forward to a lot of great things to come. So thank you very much for joining us here at Salesforce Live. Enjoy the show here at Dreamforce.